Degrees of separation, connecting to the source.
What it is, what it do, we back off up in this thing one more time, man. Welcome to Degrees of Separation, where we come to find out how we're connected and who we are connected to. We got a very, very special guest with us today. I'm so elated, so excited to have her with us today. She's doing big things in big ways, and just excited to hear her story and be inspired by all that she is accomplishing. None other than Ariana. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you. Hello, everyone.
Yes, ma'am. When we start off on here, degree of separation, do you know about 6 degrees of separation? That theory.
I don't.
All right. So it said that everyone in the world is connected through a minimum of six, or maximum of six people. So take we always like to say the president of the United States. We are connected or know the president through at most six people. You know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Well, I think it's a lot smaller than that. That number is a lot smaller because of the internet is allows us to connect with one another from
Mm.
across the world. So we like to first open up with how we are connected, how we get to know each other, how we become acquainted with one another, and that's through church. Through church.
Right.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Through church. Let's see. I've been racking up on Legacy View members, man, on the podcast. Yeah,
It's all
like I
right.
told Deacon Gary, I'm trying to get everybody in the church that's
Yeah.
doing something that's about something. We got Prophet Lays. We got him slated to come on in
Okay.
a week or so. So I'm excited about that. But Legacy View Church, man, just a powerful, dynamic body of Christ. Shout
Yeah.
out to Pastor Danny and Carla Nunn.
Ooh, yes.
I just sent him a video of one of my youth revivals I had over 7 years ago where he came and preached. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, I've been knowing him. I've been knowing him a long time,
Long
long time.
time.
Yes, ma'am. But that's how we're connected. My wife is she loves you. She loves you.
Yes, I love her too.
Yes,
She is
ma'am.
a
Yes,
sweetheart.
yes, ma'am. She
Yeah.
is a sweetheart. She loves you. Um, when I first got there, I said, you know what, she looked like Yaz's. They could be
Yeah.
sisters. And I know you probably done heard that many a times
Yes,
over.
yes. I said that's my twin sister.
Yes, ma'am. It's uncanny how similar you guys look. But
Yes.
we talked a little bit off air. You've been a minister of music for over 4 years now.
Yes. I've been
Um,
singing for a while.
okay, okay.
Yeah, for a
So
while.
so how long have you been at Legacy View?
So I've been there for 4 years.
Okay, so you've been
Yep.
there from the get it.
From the jump. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So are you one of the
Yes.
founding or not founding members, but one of the original members? Did you come when
Yes.
they first started from the first
Yes.
service?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
So you've
Yes.
seen it all.
Seen it all, top to bottom.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. That's pretty cool.
Mm.
Your name will be written in the history books of Legacy View.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yes. Yes.
So let's get into the business of it all.
All right.
Um, tell the people what it is that you do.
So I am a balloon stylist, amongst other various things.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
mainly I'm a balloon stylist. I specialize in balloon decor.
Okay. So,
Yes.
did you come up with the balloon styles, or is that like a general term for what you do?
It's just a general term. It's a
Okay.
general term. Yep.
So now a balloon stylist is I kind of know what you do because what you do is super dope.
Yeah.
I think you
Thank
did
you.
this you did what for my wife's birthday, right?
Yes.
The
Yes.
peacocks and all that and the colors and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. That
Yeah.
was phenomenal. That
Yes.
was
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So is that different from can you make balloon animals?
No, well, I'm learning. And sort of kind of, it's kind of along the same things, but mainly it's just balloon arrangement. So, I
Okay.
mean, I guess you could count it as, all the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because people that I don't want people to get misunderstood for what
Yeah.
you do.
Look, they call me to the birthday parties, bought some balloon animals.
That happened to you before?
No, no,
Oh, I was about to
no.
say that
But
would
they
be
have asked. They have asked, do I do? I was like, no, but I'm learning.
that would be
I'm learning.
hilarious to tell you the truth. Yeah,
Yes.
that would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious, but it would be actually dope too.
Yeah,
To
yeah,
have my hands in different type of, balloon decor.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So how does you said a arrangement?
Yes.
Balloon arrangement.
So basically, um, I have a list of different balloon arrangements that I have or that I make, and usually people can choose from them. I have pictures and the actual name of the arrangements, and then also too, I tell my clients that they can send me ideas, and we can test it out, work it out from there.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does one get started in balloon arrangements? What's your start?
So actually, it's a real funny story. So when I first started out, I started out like 3 years ago, and my sister, she was having a baby shower, and I was looking for someone to do some balloon arrangements for us. So I was calling around, and most of everybody were not available. But the person that I did get in touch with, they was charging me a whole bunch of money, and I was like, I thought I could do it myself. I was like, I could do it myself. So I actually did it. And my first balloon arrangement, I blew them up with my mouth.
Oh man, you was probably lightheaded.
Ooh, tired. I was tired. So I understood then after I got done why they charge so much. So I was like,
Right.
okay. But I actually enjoyed it. So it was something I was like, okay, let's see if I can get into it. And look, here we are.
And so how long have you been operating?
Okay, so I'll say officially 2 years.
Okay.
Actually, I had my first booking in July. So this would be my third year.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
That is super dope, man.
third year this,
Super dope.
well, it's August, so it didn't pass. So
Yeah,
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 this is
man. Look,
it.
I'm thinking we still in July myself,
Yeah.
man. And my birthday just passed. And it's,
Yeah. Look, time going so fast. It don't wait on
it's
nobody.
moving, man. Our big baby
Yes.
just started middle school today, so
Oh my goodness. They growing up fast.
yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. So you just so happened to stumble upon this business endeavor,
Yes.
and so between you doing it was your cousin's or your sister's baby
My
shower,
sisters. Yep.
your sister's baby shower,
Hmm.
and to you launching into the business. How long was that time period?
Um, so my sister, her baby shower was in June of 2020. So I'll say, hmm, it was a while. I'll say about a good 8 months. I
Okay,
was contemplating. I was like, I don't know if I want to do it or if I want to, Well, at first I started ordering things. I think that's what got me excited. But it was quite a bit. It was quite a bit because
so
I didn't know what I wanted to do. Period. Just as my passion or
right,
my career. I didn't know what I wanted, so I was doing a whole bunch of things. But I actually fell in love with it because um I just like how it turns out in the end. And I like to challenge myself as well. So I love when everybody give me new ideas and stuff like that. So I think it's the let's see what to say. The edge of it
right.
that excites me, yes, sir.
So is between those 8 months, what were you doing for funds? Like, what was you? Did you have a job? Did you?
Yes, so I actually was a caregiver and I worked
Okay,
at a group home and I was doing that for about 3 years.
okay.
And I kind of liked it. I liked it because I have a heart for people, and you
Right, I understand.
definitely have to have
Yes.
patience and a heart for people. But I just knew that it just wasn't something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So
Right.
I was just doing that, and in between time, I would, like look at videos and stuff like that, and just try stuff at home and practice and different stuff like that.
So, I mean, I know when I was, I had my clothing line. When I first started my clothing line,
Mm-hmm.
I researched and researched and researched and
Yes.
researched, and I found out how all the different ways to make a T-shirt into screen print, into do DTG, into the clothing, and I researched so much stuff that I got. You ever heard of analysis paralysis?
Mm-hmm.
Did that happen to you?
Um. Yeah, I have to say that. Yeah, because I was very intrigued, and I would look at different people. I have a favorite. It's a person that I follow. She has a business and it's called JPD Events, and I love watching her because they break it down, so simple. And I don't know, she's very very dope, and I'm actually going to be taking a class from her soon. So I'm
Okay,
excited about that. But yeah, I was looking into everything. I wanted to see how much they make. I wanted to see like how they do it with simpler ways, that'll make it easy on me. And I think just diving into it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you want to see what's more simple because I mean, if you blowing all these balloons up, with them lungs that God
I'm
gave
talking
you,
about out of breath. Especially in this heat, it wouldn't have worked out.
so what's the average amount of balloons that you use per event?
Ooh, so I'll say mm, maybe about 150, maybe 200, and that's for something simple. But for something huge, oh, I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you. But normally, when I do get my packaging from offline, everything comes in bulks.
Okay,
So either I'll get a bigger bulk or a smaller bulk, and sometimes it's 500 in one or 100, and I end up using them all. But there's pros and cons to it. You have to make sure you get a lot of balloons, extra balloons, because you never know if something's gonna pop or if something might not blow or something may blow up weird, or I don't know, it could be various of things. Sometimes they package them and stuff like that, and there's holes in them and stuff like
right.
that. And plus you have to watch who you get who you're getting your balloons from, your vendors, because sometimes they can uh, do you wrong too. They'll send you cheap balloons or whatever else they do.
So how can you tell if the balloon is you have to wait till you blow it up, or can you feel the texture, or what?
Um. Well, most of the times you can feel the texture. It'll be thicker if it's good. It'll be thick, and I like to test them out and blow them up. And if if they're kind of tight, then you're like, okay, they'll pop. You got to try to leave some space in them, because I can't stand for balloons to pop.
I was
I
going to ask
I
you,
was just about to say
are you immune? Are you immune to the sound of a popping balloon?
not at all. I can't stand for them to pop, and if they do pop, I'm looking scared. I'm like, oh Lord. Mm-mm. So I try not to, make it to where it does pop.
Right, right.
And yeah,
I would
yeah,
figure you'd be immune to that because in the process of blowing, I know they have to pop from time to
yeah.
time.
Well, I think if I'm blowing it up, then it wouldn't surprise me as much. But
Right.
like if I'm arranging them and something pop, it'll scare me. I'll be like, oh Lord.
Now, have you had the during an event or party or whatever balloons to pop on you after everything's set up?
Yes. Yes, I have, and I freaked out. But I can say that I am better now. Like I am learning to calm down, and of course, like I just said before, make sure I have like extra balloons and stuff
Right.
like that. Just to make sure that I can replace it. But yes, I have. I have set up all the way and was about to walk out the door, and something said pop, and it fell. I was like, oh my goodness. So now I'm just praying every time, like, Lord, please keep the balloon. Keep
Right,
them.
right.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So, okay, we have the how many different types of balloons are there?
So, oh, it's a lot. It's a lot, but mainly everybody likes to get like balloon garlands, which is, let's see, a simple way I can describe it. Like an upside down L. A lot of people like to get those. A
Upside
lot
down
of,
L,
yeah,
like a
upside
seven.
down. Yeah, there you go. Seven, seven, seven. There you go. Look,
You got
you
me
helped
racking
me
my brain.
out.
I'm over here like, I'm
Look,
over here
you helped
racking
me
my
out.
brain like, what's
Look, upside down. Yeah, like a seven. And then a lot of people book balloon arches, which is just straight across.
Okay,
And then another popular one is the balloon columns, which is the two columns that stand up, just stand up straight.
okay, okay,
But it's a whole bunch of acronyms
right.
for the the different balloon arrangements. But those three are the most probably popular,
So
especially for me.
those are the arrangements. But what about the book? Because I seen like that man, that thing probably didn't deflate for over a month. The peacock, the actual peacock.
Oh, okay. So okay, well, you have your latex balloons, which is your regular balloons,
Right.
and then the one you're talking about is called a foil balloon.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, and most of the time those are blown up with helium. So, but you also can blow them up with um,
Air.
regular air. It's just that they won't float.
So they'll just be sitting on the ground.
Hmm.
Could you put a one of those sticks in it to make it stand up, even if you
Hmm.
put like regular air, regular oxygen in it? That's
Yes, sir.
another way to because helium can get expensive, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Because they say I heard that, and maybe you can help me out with this.
Hmm.
That helium is a non-renewable resource. So once
Yes.
helium is gone off of this planet, there is no more helium
No
whatsoever.
more. And it's been a drought for a while. I think it's been like since 2019, 2018, 2019.
Right.
I tried to get a like one of those big helium tanks, and I was gonna purchase it, but I couldn't even refill it. I couldn't
Right.
refill it anywhere. So I was like, ah. But I've been looking into it because they actually have like little machines,
Hmm.
and I'm not sure how that works, which is another thing that I'll be looking into. But yeah, it just works and it's a little pump, and I'm like, I need that, so I don't have to,
Right.
keep having to go and refill it and stuff like that, or try to find somewhere that they refill.
Is there another
Yeah.
resource that's like air that is as light as helium that can make balloons float in the in the absence of helium? Is there any?
Not that I have heard of or looked into, but like I said, when you use those pumps, for me, I just if I had to have the helium, and I didn't have resources to it, I would just blow it up with regular air, and then I would tape it.
Right.
So, like, say for instance, you wanted to put some balloons on the ceiling or floating in the ceiling, I would just tape the balloons up on the ceiling, and it'll float like that.
I mean, that
Yeah.
seems a little bit more work, but a lot more,
Yeah.
cost effective.
Right.
Because if you got a resource that's running out and it's not renewable, that I can see that getting pretty expensive depending on
Yeah.
how much you're using of it.
Right. Right.
A lot of people don't know that. I just figured that out maybe not too long
Hmm.
ago. I like
Yeah.
to stay up on my knowledge.
Yes.
Um, so is it typically just you that does all of the work, the planning,
Yes.
the
It's just me for right now, but I am praying that God sends help. Help.
operation? You need some help.
I need some help. So I would number one want someone that has a heart for it. And I think the main thing for me is blowing the balloons. Like, if I had someone that I can trust to blow the balloons and not pop them, or, you know, have them in a funny shape, I guess have the same eye as me, have the same eye, then that would help out a lot, because I could do one thing and they can do another, and we can get it done fast. Because I think time for me is a big thing. Like I try to have everything done in a decent time. Of course, before the event starts and stuff like that. But sometimes I do run into time. But it just depends. Like it
Right.
depends on what it is.
Right.
And yeah. It depends on what it is. But most of the time I'm pretty in pretty good timing.
So you need someone to have the passion such as you,
Hmm.
the free up your time and give you the same. Now, when you keep talking about these funny shaped balloons,
I know. Because they do. Sometimes the balloons will blow up in a real funny shape, and people will still put them up, and I'm like, mm-mm, don't do it. It don't look good.
how does the balloon show up in a funny shape?
So, what you would want normally is for your balloon to be like round, and sometimes the balloons come out like an oval shape, and it can mess up your whole arrangement too because the balloons mostly have to be the same size. So if something is off, it could be leaning or it could pop or
Right.
a various of things. But
Is does that happen because of maybe holding the balloon too tight while blowing it up, or
no, I just
too much
think
air?
the way they make the balloons, like um you have different sizes and different shapes.
Right.
And so sometimes the balloons, like I said, they can mix them up or they just do it by color, so they'll just throw them in there. And you, for me, every time I get at least one weird shape out of a pack, so I'm like, that's not gonna work out.
So what's your uh, favorite thing when it comes to events? What's your favorite thing?
Um, I think just seeing the finished product, as far as like everything coming together and what it looks like with not just the balloons but the actual whole event. And a lot of times the balloons, it brings it out. So I think the exciting part for me is the finished product. Well, not the process, but but the finished product. Yes, sir.
A lot of people, that because that's the most rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that finished product. But the process is the process.
Yes.
Some people have more appreciation, or not because I know you appreciate the process, but
Mm-hmm.
more affinity towards the process than the results. But to each his own. To each his
Yeah.
but real quick, before we go to break, or after we come back from break, we're going to talk about you and your partnerships. But until when we come back, we'll get right back to the interview.
Alrighty.
Degrees of separation connecting to the source.
If you want to represent your faith with your fashion, go to gospelgains.com. If you want to show your salvation on your sleeve, gospelgains.com. GOSPELGAINS. Type in the word degrees at checkout. You'll get a 15% discount on your entire purchase. All right, we are back with Ariana. So, um, uh, the reason I've seen your work is because something I think is one of the dopest things in the world is your partnership with Sister Ope,
Yes.
who we had on the podcast, who I've known for uh, about 13, 14.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We was in ministry for like 10 years ago.
Okay.
So she has, of course, she does her decor and event planning, and you partner
Mm-hmm.
with her a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen your work at her parties and for my wife's surprise birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Speak to that, if you will.
So, yes, love Minister Hopefully. I love her so much. She's very, very sweet and she's very humble. And she is probably the only person that I have ever partnered with that has actually invested and poured into me And let's see how I can say it. I'm not gonna say spotlight, but she recognizes, you know, the work that I do, and she also refers, and I just love that about her so much. I do. I love that about her, and yes, we have been partnering. I'm so sorry. We've been partnering for a long time now, and she does. She sets me up with different. She refers me to different clients and stuff like that, and I just think that's just such a blessing.
Right. You know, do you do all of her parties?
You would think so, look.
A lot of
But
them.
anybody that requests balloons from her, she does. She refers me to them,
That's
and
super dope.
yeah, super
Super
dope.
dope. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's super dope.
most people don't do that because a lot of people are in competition,
Right.
and that's the thing that draw me to her. I'm like, okay, like she's not trying to compete because I believe that Minister Opie does balloons, or at least used to do them.
Right.
And so it was very super dope for her to, take me under her wing and, not only build up my clientele, but just show me the ropes, the different ropes, just in the core business period.
Right.
Yeah.
And she been doing it for a mighty long time. You know,
Yes.
she did all the decorations at our old church and stuff like that. And if she doesn't know how to do balloons, I know she has resources to do it
Right.
for her
Mhm.
to use you as her resource.
Yes.
I believe her primary resource for balloons is, like I say, dope. So
Yeah.
it's you know, there's enough money for everybody to eat. That's how I feel.
Yes.
That's what this whole podcast is centered around. Highlighting
Yeah.
people and you know, because I want what we're gonna do. We're gonna tighten up on it is having a directory of all of our guests to where
Okay.
anybody within the community could just go to a small business or someone that they know instead of going to these big companies that are going to gouge you. Like you said, that person charged you an arm and a leg, and you was like,
Arm and a leg.
"Look, it's balloons. I can blow up balloons myself."
Right.
But going back to that initial price that you got, and like you said, you after blowing up the balloons yourself, you understood where the price coming from.
Hmm.
Um, how does that factor into what you charge?
So, I think with everything I do, I just try to be fair. I just I want to be treated, in a nice way, and I want everybody else to feel the same. So, I I actually had to learn the charge because at one point I was just like, no, like they don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. But time is something you can't get back. That's number one.
Right,
And it is balloons are very time consuming, and so I had to start charging for my time, and of course materials and stuff like that. But yeah, I think sometimes I still kind of still have a heart, but I'm learning to be a little bit more stern when it comes down to my prices. But normally I just make sure that all the materials are covered, and then whatever extra you know, it comes from the heart. But every time God He blesses, so you know.
right, right.
Mm,
And do you just let them have the balloons afterwards?
yes.
You just got to take back your structure and all that stuff,
Hmm.
and all that other stuff. Now,
Yeah.
do everybody take the balloons, or because everybody loves balloons?
Well, normally the kids, if it's an event with kids, they'll usually play with them. But the adults, there's sometimes I've had gotten requests to come back and just pop them and take it down and stuff like that. So, but normally they keep them. They try to keep them up for a long time.
Right,
as long as they can, as long as they can keep. Yeah.
right, right. Um, so between the like the different events and the parties, and that could you list off some of the things that parties or events that people request balloons for?
Um, So I get a lot of birthday parties, of course. I get a lot of baby showers. I've done weddings. Um, I've done back to school events. I've done just community events. I made balloons one time for Martin Luther King March.
Okay.
Just a whole bunch of stuff. Just a whole bunch of stuff.
What's your favorite one to do? Birthday parties?
Yeah.
'Cause that's a lot.
Birthday parties and baby showers.
That's a lot. I mean, even in the my mom posted for my birthday a picture of me at my wife's one of our baby showers.
Hmm.
But they do the balloon thing when they, the men put the balloon in the stomach and
Yeah.
now you can have some weird shaped balloons for that. Now,
Right,
you
right.
just blow them up. And, you have to try to tie your shoe with it and all that stuff. You
Hmm.
can't put it sideways. But y'all,
Right.
y'all go sideways when y'all pregnant, but we can't do it sideways. We got to bend over and over the
Right.
fake belly and all that stuff. I had a
Hmm.
blast, man. I got 5 children, but I mean, I've had a blast at the baby showers.
Yeah.
I would think that would be a joy for you to,
Mhm.
because you get to attend all the parties, right?
Yes, but normally, if I do have an event, I probably have another event. I
Right.
try to like book no more than three a day, because again, it's just me. But most of the times, I have another event, so I don't stay. But I have gotten invited, to stay.
I would think that would be a perk to, you get to stay and have all the
Mhm.
food and beverages and the snacks
Yeah.
and meet good people and
Mhm.
how how frequently do you have events every weekend? Do you operate on the weekdays? How does your schedule look?
So, I am doing my balloons full time. So, I am available during the week and the weekends, but most of the time, my weekends are always booked. Um, it's rare, but it's rare. But I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it.
Um, so you know, I know you have a daughter. You have just one daughter.
Yeah.
How does that, because on the weekends, our children, they just went back to school. They
Hmm.
in school on the weekends. They want to go do something. I know you got ministry things that you have to attend
Hmm.
to. How does having full scheduled weekends and being a mom and minister of music and all that stuff? How do you work that out?
So, of course, I just try to, pace myself and mentally prepare
Right.
for what's to come. But normally Taylor, that's my daughter, she'll come with me. Um, she's not a very good helper. She gets tired easy. She's like, "Mommy, I'm bored." So I don't think she had a thing for balloons, but if she is there, she'll help out. But normally I'll bring her with me, or she'll go with my sister. And as far as ministry, I just try to make sure I have everything set before I do the events, so that when Sunday comes, everything is set in stone.
So you have even events on Sunday as well.
Yep, sometimes I do.
Right. Okay.
Sometimes I do, but I try not to book on Sundays. I try to give it to the Lord.
But I mean, even though, like you said, like if you're already prepared and the things and you're set up already,
Mm-hmm.
ain't nothing that you got to do. You just, come maybe take it down that day,
Yeah,
next day,
I've
or
had to do it one time. I was in the middle of the church and I sung praise and worship, and I left and put the balloons up and came on back.
ain't nobody even know.
Yep, nobody even know. So I think that's the big thing for me, is just preparing and laying out. And even if I do have to blow the balloons, like I said before, I'll blow them up and I'll put them in the back of the truck
Right.
and just drop them off, and it'll be an easy setup for me as far as time. So,
So how far are you booked, and what avenues do you take to promote yourself?
so, I actually open up like my books for each month. Or sometimes I'll have like a special or a sale, and I'll just open up my books for the whole entire year. And normally that's what I'll do. Like if I have sales, I'll say, okay, you can book this month for any time, but it's just for this month.
Right.
Or um, I think that's really what it is, specials and stuff like that. But normally, I just open a month to month, and we go like that.
Okay. And what avenues do you take to promote yourself?
So I am a big TikToker. I love TikTok. But it's kind of weird. Like I promote social media. I have business cards, and I'm also looking into doing the mobile business cards where you
Okay.
just take a picture of the QR
Yes.
code and it take you straight there. So usually that's how I promote. Social media is my big thing though. I'll say Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, but it just depends. Like on each social media platform is different. So what I post on one, I probably won't get as many, views or likes, but on another platform, it's blowing up. So I just try to post on all three, to keep myself uh, number one busy, but of course, to promote and so that people can see the different stuff that um, I do.
So you're more geared, like your favorite is TikTok, I guess, because you started
Yeah,
that way. You
yeah,
lit up when you said TikTok. You lit up,
lit
man.
up.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen it. I'm gonna have to tap into the TikTok. I'm gonna have to tap
yes,
into your
tap into
TikTok.
the TikTok.
So is it like funny? Is it business, straight business? Is it like what would you say your personality on TikTok is?
Um, I say both. I try to be authentic, in everything I do. So,
Right,
once you what you get in the business, you probably get
right, right, right.
with the personal. But yeah, I say business. I post a lot of my business stuff on TikTok, and so I do. I actually post everything that I do on TikTok though. I do the balloons, and then I also cook and I cater events. So I post that type of stuff, and I also take pictures. Um, I'm a photographer. I'm actually a published photographer.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay, okay,
yes, and
okay.
I took some pictures, and it was published in a magazine. So I was
That's
excited about that. Yeah, that's another one of my passions too, the photography, because I actually went to school and took classes for it, and then my first job was at Life Touch, and it was
okay.
they take the pictures for the kids in school.
Right, right,
Yeah, so I enjoy it too. But even in that, I guess everything for everything, what excites me is just the finished product. So
right,
TikTok brings it together because, you know, it's a shorter version of everything that I've
right.
done.
I mean, you youngsters, that's what y'all like to do anyway.
Yeah.
Just be on TikTok, all you young folk. You know what I mean? I love TikTok too. Um, so let me ask you: would you prefer the customer to take pictures and post them, or yourself to take your pictures, or it doesn't really matter, long as it's a quality picture?
um, I like to take the pictures, but because now that I've been super busy, I don't even care. I'll be like, as long as the picture is taken, that's fine. I just want to see the work.
Right,
So most of the times I'm able to get pictures, but when I am not able to get pictures, like my clients, they're pretty good with sending pictures in and stuff like that. So I've been able to work off of some of the pictures that they've taken too. So
right. So you have the DSLR cameras and all that stuff. You have all that equipment.
I actually don't. I used to have a camera, and it was a Canon,
Okay.
and I actually broke it.
Oof.
So I said, so I'm gonna wait. But I've actually been taking pictures with my iPhone. And a
Oh
lot of
man, she
people,
said iPhone.
yeah, my
Oh no.
and everybody be like, to the iPhones, but it's not even the phone, it's in the editing.
Okay, yeah.
So I've taken pictures and people like, what kind of camera you have? And I'm like,
So
an
you know how to
iPhone
do, of
camera.
course, you going to school and being, a published photographer. You know how to do all the editing
Hmm.
and all that stuff, touching that up.
Yes, sir.
And how long did that take you to perfect or fine tune?
Um, I think I'm still perfecting. Um, I feel like every photo shoot that I do, I always find something new to do or something new to perfect. So I think each time, I'm just like, okay. And even sometimes I go back and edit some of my old pictures and be like, okay, let me see what I can do different with this, So,
Can you tell from a naked eye if a photo's been touched up or edited
yes, sir.
without even trying to look for it? You just can just spot it.
It just pop out. And I'll be like, hmm.
Do you not do Photoshop and all that stuff?
Hmm.
Oh, that's that. I might need to hire you because
All
listen.
right.
When I first started this podcast, all
Mm-hmm.
right, I told you, and yeah, it's for the podcast because I done launched a lot of stuff. All right, so
Mm-hmm.
it's for the podcast, and I did all that research of how to edit, how to like. I even bought the program, right, and
What you
never.
say?
I probably played with it a few times. I bought a program, about a class from a guy who does it, and
Hmm.
just never got into it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
because too
it
busy.
is very time consuming too. I
Right.
think that's another thing you gotta have patience for because it can get very tedious.
It's very tedious, and then to
Hmm.
remember all the shortcut commands and I mean, I probably if
Yeah.
I just sat down and did it, I know I could get it, but
Right.
I got too many things running through my head. Just full time everything.
Yeah.
So, but could you speak to the freedom that you have, to all the inspired entrepreneurs and business owners? A lot of people, want they say freedom because they don't want to go clock in at somebody else's job, but they don't understand the labor and the sweat that goes into running your own
Yeah.
business. But yet there is freedom because you get to work under your own, uh, you know, under your own, uh, at your own pace,
Right.
whatever you want to.
Hmm.
Um, so could you speak to the perceived freedom and the actual freedom?
Okay. So yeah, the perceived freedom, people, they think they could just sit back and, do no work and everything will just come to them. But I think honestly, having your own business or being, an entrepreneur, I feel like you have to work harder.
Yes.
And so that is very perceived that you could just sit down. Because honestly, when I first started doing it, I thought I was just going, to sit back. But it's a lot more, because you're your employee and you're the boss. So you got to handle all things and all aspects. But I can say the actual freedom, just like you said, you can move at your own pace. I get to create my own schedule and I get to charge however much I want to charge with the prices.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
I think that's pretty dope,
Yes.
pretty
Most
dope.
definitely.
But I think that's a big one that people think that they just gonna be easy breezy and not put in no work, but gotta put in the work.
Now, final few questions. Now, have you had the friend, family member, or whomever say, Ariana, come on, hook me up, man. Give me the hook up on it. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah. Oh yes, 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 yes. Um. Well, most of the time, like with my family, um, my family doesn't really do that. They'll pay or do whatever, but it's always something extra. Always something extra.
Right.
So with them, I have to pace myself and mentally prepare, and I also have to remind them like, I don't mind, but at the same time, this is my business. And then that it shows me how they feel about me too as
Right.
well,
Right.
as far as, investing in paying and stuff like that. But most of the times I don't mind. I'll do the labor for free, but I'll tell them, y'all gonna have to buy them balloons.
Yes. Yes,
You
ma'am.
got to buy something, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And my final question before we get out of here. I think it's my final question. I'm trying to make
Okay.
sure. I'm curious because I like to know where other people their minds are, and just inspiration for me, and I know it's
Mm,
inspiration for our listeners. Um, the support,
mm.
um, how important, if you would like to name some people that support you, and how important is their support to you and to the success of your business.
So, one thing that I've learned is not to look for support in the people that's most close to you. And I say that because it has been complete strangers that has invested, into my business and that has supported and referred and shared and liked and comment. And I think that's very, very important. And I think that's very dope too because it just pushes you and it encourages you, to keep moving forward that at least somebody is looking and somebody's paying attention. And like if they're doing it, somebody else will too.
Right.
But also having that support from your close friends and family and loved ones, I think that's even more dope, because, you know, you just have that backup and like if something happens and stuff like that, it's people that's still there, close to you. You don't have to go out and find somebody to encourage you.
Right.
It's right there. So I think that's a big thing because sometimes that can discourage people too, not having the your close ones supporting you and stuff like that. I think that could be a big discouragement, but you know God, He is God. He's
Yes.
God. And He will give us peace about it. And He'll also send people. So, support is good, though. Support is great. And I have a lot of people supporting. And I am so, so grateful for that. So, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. This is coming to our close of our interview. I appreciate you for all that you have
Yes, of
disclosed to
course.
us. I know it's a lot more. We might have to have you back on. Might
Yes.
have to hire you for some stuff. But let everybody know, for all the listeners, not the viewers, but the listeners, your social media, and if you would like to have any final word or anything like that.
Okay, so everybody can follow me on Facebook at Ariana Lashay. And then you can follow me on Instagram at Ariana Lashay _experience. And you can also follow me on TikTok at Ariana Lashay. And you can DM me. You can also look on my page for updates and specials. And yes, sir.
That's it. That's all you got.
That's all I got.
All right. No problem. No problem. Again, man, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Degrees of Separation. You can find us on everything. That's
Yeah.
that DEGREEZ, Degrees of Separation, Degrees with a Z, on Facebook and Instagram. On YouTube, you can find us at Degrees of Separation, all one word. Uh, Facebook, all that stuff. DEGREEZ of separation. Separation, SEPARATION. On all major streaming platforms, you can find us. And when it comes to God, we are 1 or 2 degrees separated from each other. But when it comes to God, there should be 0 degrees of separation. And we out.
Degrees of separation, connecting to the source.